Critical Blast, where pop culture gets blasted.
Hey everybody, this is RJ at criticalblast.com, and we've got something special to show you today. We've added somebody to the staff. It's the Evo from Ozobot, and we're going to show you what this little guy can do. So this is our Evo, and just for a size of scale, he's pretty much a walnut. Not very big, but what he can do is pretty cool. Let's turn him on. Hello, Evo. Get those wheels a going. Now let's get you calibrated. And then we'll start with the very first card that comes with him. Let's turn him off. Turn him back on the way they said by holding him 2 seconds till the light flashes and putting him on the little black square. Oh, calibrating. Yeah, he's ready to go. See, normally when I have darkness in all directions, I'm disoriented, but this is what orients him. So this is kind of what he does. The kit comes with a very thick pack of cards for demonstrating. Yeah, he can be irascible at times, especially when you cover one of his sensors with your finger. Okay, Evo, look at us. We need you to do your job. Do you understand? Can you do that? No. No. I'm going to do your job. Look around. There you go. So as you can see, he'll follow any black line path like this one here that was drawn on his initial card, which I deviated from a little bit. Yeah, you feel accomplished, don't you? Good job, Evo. Let's take a look at some of the other paths that come with it. And I know, drawing a little path and following it, that's just kid stuff. Oh! Did I touch you somewhere you didn't want to be touched? So when he gets to the fork in the road, he picks one. And did you notice he flashes the color that he passes over when it wasn't black? Let's start him over again at the beginning, see what he does. Will he take the same path? No, this time he's going to go for green. So whenever an Evo hits a branching path, it randomly selects a direction. The path doesn't have to be black. The path can have colors on it, and he will do a little light show as he goes over it, reflecting the color of everything he passes over. There's orange, purple, orange again, purple again. Well done, Evo. And on this particular path, you are encouraged to fill in the dots and make more colors to make him flash them as they go. Oh, where are you going, Evo? This path, however, is where things really get interesting. If you see the little blocks of color in threes, those are called Ozo codes. And that is more than just flashing a color. Those communicate to Ozo what to do, like blue, red, blue is turn around. Random branch, red, black, red is slow it down. And blue, black, blue is speed things up. So you can have a lot of fun actually coding your robot to do things. There are dozens of these block codes, and the paths you can draw are, well, infinite to your imagination, but just to get trained, they do give you a whole stack of training material on how to get started on training your little Ozobot. But this is only the beginning. Let's see what else he can do. Alright, so we've done a little modification to our Ozobot, and you may recognize him now as Star of Avengers Ultron. Yes, we've turned our robot into a robot. Now this is, the Ozobot is stuck underneath of him here. He's a very flexible rubber skin. He has a micro USB connector in the back that plugs into the Ozobot charging port. And the reason he does that is because this is more than just a cute little outfit for Ozobot to wear. Apologies, Ultron. So Ultron is now awake, and we are going to ask him to do the same path. Yes, Ultron will mock your code.
Simple enough. Trivial. Simple enough.
It gets a little monotonous at times, but he's still working on base code and he hasn't been upgraded yet. And I'm not joking about that. You can actually pull the app down on your phone, which marries to your Ozobot and allows you to program it from your phone, drive it like a little remote-controlled car, and send it sound effects and light code. You can make the lights flash, you can give him a pair of eyes. When you do the same thing with the Ultron skin on, it goes out and it tries to download an upgrade for the Ultron circuitry, as well as modify the interface for the app so that it's more Avengers oriented. I have not completely done this yet, nor can I demonstrate it because unfortunately I'm using that same phone to take the video. So you'll just have to trust me on that one. It's pretty damn cool. But the Avengers skins come in Ultron, Iron Man, Black Widow, Hulk, and Captain America, and they all behave pretty much similar to this, but they come with a special Avengers track path for an adventure that you can have with multiple Ozobots, and that's where another cute aspect of this comes in. The Ozobots recognize each other and interact with each other. Now this Ozobot is called Critical Bot because when I paired it with the app, I gave it a name, and I'm actually accumulating points for everything I do with Ozobot, whether I'm using the app or not. Basically giving it training paths, recharging it. It knows all the things that I've done with it, and it loads those things onto the app whenever it pairs off, and I get points and I get extra activities. So it's a growing app that keeps you engaged and gives you plenty of ideas to try to come up with complicated tasks for your little Ozobot.
Simple enough. What is the purpose of this?
Well, the purpose of it is to teach.
What is the purpose of this?
I said the purpose of this is to teach kids how to code.
What is the purpose of this?
And that's why Ultron lost. He doesn't listen. Actually, the Ozobot responds to touch. So while I'm holding him, I was covering sensors, and that was triggering him to say certain things and behave in certain ways. So, I can get it do again. Oh. Cat got your tongue now, huh? Fine. Say goodnight, Ultron. Your Ozobot kit comes with the Ozobot, which sits in a little plastic cube up here, and all the extra material, which includes the stack of cards that I was using earlier, and inside his little locker here, you get a little rubber cap that you can stick on him for protective use, the charging gear and the carrying pouch, and your coding materials. There we go. Your coding materials are simply markers. Now these markers are branded Yes, they say Ozobot clearly on them, but you know what's special about them? Absolutely nothing. They're simply markers. You can use Sharpies. I've used Sharpies. You can use magic markers. Any marker you want can be used to design your own Ozobot path with its own Ozobot codes.
Trivial. Simple enough. Simple enough. Simple enough. The simplicity is insulting.
Okay, so what we did here was we hand drew a track for Ultron to follow. Just a straight black path, and then some long strips of color. You saw the colors change as he passed over them. They're long, they're not in a sequence of any kind, so they didn't code him. And then we tried our hand at some Ozo codes. So we put a blue, green, blue here. And you saw when he passed over that, he sped up. That was the code for going faster. And then he made an angle here, he turned back along here, and he hit this green, red. And that was the code for what they call tornado. And that's when he stopped and he started spinning around a little bit. And then he just followed the curved line. Now you saw him turn around up here because I got a little sloppy. And as he made the turn, he kind of saw a branching path. We don't. We're humans. We have better brains than Ultron. Don't tell him that. But if I'd been a little bit neater with this, he would not have made that turnaround and gone back the other direction, which was fine by my standards actually, because it allowed you to see the color changes on his chest a little more clearly when he passed over this. So overall, this is something that people are going to have a lot of fun with. You're going to get challenges to create new paths and new grids. There are a ton of things in this pack of cards that I haven't gone with. You can see here the stickers for the codes if you want to apply them to your path rather than try to draw them yourself. I just thought I would give it a shot with the markers. And of course, there's combat that can be done with them if you have more than one Ozobot. There are other games that come with the application. And I'm pretty sure they're going to be programming more and more things into this in the future. My only complaint with it, I have two complaints. One is that, as you saw at the beginning, it's a little temperamental getting it started. But once you've got it oriented on its little black circle, and you get it to recognize that it's on a path, it pretty much follows the code once you've got it started. Now you don't have to have it on a path. It will, of course, just drive around on a flat surface at random. And of course, when you have the app up, you can use it like a little remote controlled car and tell it to go right, go left, back up, drive a curve, send it voice signals. I'm going to have to try that later with the Ultron mode if fully installed to see if I can make Ultron say things. I'm betting that I can. I wouldn't be surprised. I know you can make the little R2-D2 like unit laugh and cry and snore, so there'll be a lot of fun to be had with that. Anyway, I'm going to be giving this to my kid to play with and teach him a little bit of coding, and I'm sure I'm going to have paper all over the house after that as he makes Ozobot follow the little black road. So all you folks at Ozobot, there's one thing we need. This thing's got to be big enough to get me a cup of coffee. Can you do that?